So once I had the baby, I was at this workplace. I did get additional they call it bonding leave. So the first 6 or 8 weeks is based upon the type of delivery you have, and then we have the bonding leave with the baby. And but because I was so much wanting to go back to work, and I thought it's easy, I can do it, anyone can do it. I just took 6 weeks, because we can take the bonding leave up to 1 year. You can take it anytime. So I rushed back, but I think it took a mental toll on me because my body was not ready. I had to drive into work, what I did not anticipate was that I will have to be away from my desk for pumping, and not everyone understands these schedules, right? Especially if you have a male manager, you're not really vocal about it, and you're taking a break, and all of this part, right? It was hard. It was definitely hard for me, because I would take these breaks because I have to pump the milk for the next day for my child. I did not really have like a oversupply where I would freeze and all, like what other moms did. Now, if I have to do something different, I think I would take the bonding leave and the maternity all through once.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 26 of the Dairy Mom podcast. My name is Diana Adair. I am the founder of the Dairy Mom. We inspire, educate, and empower mothers who may be struggling to reclaim their dreams or who may have temporarily set aside their ambitions due to the demands of motherhood. On the Dairy Mom podcast, we bring you powerful stories from audacious mothers around the world who defy societal expectations and harness their strength to juggle both roles of motherhood and the pursuit of their personal and professional ambitions successfully. Before we begin today's episode, I want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you to all of our new subscribers, and thank you to all who have been with us from the beginning. I appreciate you all very much, and if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please do so by hitting the subscribe button. This helps our channel to grow. Today's episode is the second part of our two-part series on engineering motherhood. We are honored to continue our conversation with our special guest, Vijetha Bala, all the way from the United States of America. In today's episode, we'll delve deeper into some of the challenges Vijetha has faced as a mother in her career in a foreign country and how she has been able to navigate them. So stay right here with us. Vijetha is a software engineer at a telecom company in Denver, Colorado. She moved to the United States from India in 2009 to pursue her education in computer science at Purdue University. She has 15 years of experience in the telecom and finance industries. She's also currently pursuing her MBA at the University of Colorado Boulder. She's a mentor at the school to many young engineers who are just starting out their careers in engineering. She has a passion for leadership and strongly believes in being optimistic. She lives with her husband and 2 young kids. As a mother of 2 kids, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, she takes pride in walking the talk and leading by example for her children to inspire them to work hard towards achieving their dreams. She's actively involved in the Society of Women Engineers Denver chapter. She's seen as a person full of life and energy who believes she has a much bigger purpose in life. She accepts every challenge with a smile and an attitude to solve. If you're ready for today's conversation, grab your pens and notebooks and join me as I speak to our special guest.
Every day is a lesson in itself. Whether it's a good lesson or a bad lesson, you learn something out of it. And I always believe walking the talk and not just talking, but I believe in actions, doing what is required. So I think I have the courage to accept the failures if they're, and I think now I'm at a point. There was a time when I would be really low in my life where it would bother me that I'm not getting successful in career, or like there's so much criticism to handle and all of that. But right now I'm at a point where I think no matter what, nothing can stop me.
I'm at a point where I think no matter what, nothing can stop me. Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's a powerful statement right there. Wow. So I want to again come into that piece of your career where you were experiencing promotion prior to motherhood. Every 2 years you got promoted, and then now you are at a point where motherhood comes in and you're faced with all these challenges and you have to deal with it. How did you navigate the pause? Like, because it feels like you are, even though you are still like with in your career, you are still pushing through, but the fact that the promotions aren't happening as they used to and all that, that alone can make you feel like mentally kind of a little bit of, like, what, how am I feeling? How have you navigated that, that emotional phase, like the emotions that come with it, and how have you managed to go through that
um,
period?
I would start with, first of all, it's not easy, right? It's never easy. And uh, with my personality, it was even harder for me because I was always successful. I had whatever it is. I know my goal. I would achieve it. But there came a point where I was juggling with uh, my career itself, where I was not having a growth. I felt really stuck. And then I was dealing with people conflicts, and like having, and I have been really vulnerable at times. I had skip level meetings where I wanted to resolve conflicts with my manager, but I and I had moments where I had to walk out of a meeting because I was so emotionally invested. I was wanting to show to the upper management that I'm capable of, I'm doing the right thing. And I was like really cornered, and I felt I don't belong here. No matter what I did, it was never enough. It got to a point where I pushed myself so badly that there were times when I wouldn't take breaks at my workplace. I would constantly be looking at the monitor because I wanted to get through it. I wanted the people around me to recognize what I'm doing. And there came a point where it just magically came to me. And I'm like, no, no matter what I do, they already have made judgments about me. It's never going to be enough. No matter what I do, it's only the critics that they would talk, because for them their ego is much higher than giving me a good job or telling me, hey Vijetha, we are proud of you. I don't say that you need to be doing this every day, but I think when you are a mother, when you get this new emotional change in your life, I think you look for compassion. You look for that empathy. You look for that support. And this is where I say organizations have trainings on mental health, how to support workers that are returning from maternity leave. There's surveys that happen, but I don't really think if everyone is really capable of dealing with those employees. And this is where I actually feel that yes, I was really harsh on myself. There was times when I would do anything. Like you tell me, hey Vijetha, this is what we don't like in you, I would go change it. I would do everything in my power to prove to the upper management that I am doing what is needed. But as I said, it was never enough because they already had judgments. There was not this thought process of accepting. I had the thought process to accept. I wanted to resolve conflicts, so I went to the skip level trying to resolve conflicts. But I don't think the other person had that maturity to handle it. And even now, I tell you, there are times when I get nightmares of the way I was treated. I wake up with shivers because I was not treated right. I mean, I would not say is it right or wrong. I would not say that, but because I am at the receiving end, I don't think I was treated right.
What would you
And
say? What would you say like caused that? Is it like because you had become a mother and then it was becoming like with all the challenges you were facing as a mother, and then you kind of had to be taking breaks and sorry, be asking for like, can I go pick up my son and all those things? Would you say like those were the things that what was making you be seen in a different light now? Like, what did you think caused that?
I think the major problem was people say that they are supporting. They managers are trained, like they will be in one-on-ones there where they will tell you, hey, are you getting all the support you
Need.
need to do your work? Do you have the enough equipment to do your work? There is like a clear wording that they're trained on, that they need to talk. And for most of it, your answer would be yes. There's nothing more, right? But their actions are very different. They do what they are trained, but they don't really apply that. They don't apply it. That is where the problem is. To the upper management, it's like, hey, Vijetha says she has all this that she's needing, but she's not really doing. But there's something that happens in the middle. That could be a little eye roll, okay? Or there could be some judgmental thing, something that they should not be doing. And you don't have evidence. You feel indifferent. You are treated indifferent. But there's no evidence. Because I can't show an evidence for an eye roll. I can't show evidence for how you see me in a hallway and you don't smile. I can't show you evidence for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these are the things that actually are more difficult than the motherhood itself.
Yeah.
You're going through your emotional turmoil in your head, and externally, these are the factors that you have to deal with. So you're going extra step to prove yourself to the management, to the people around you, but to a point where it looks like, hey, Vijetha is like kiss ass, like she just wants to be nice, but that's not what it is. I'm doing my job, and because you are not accepting what I'm doing everything that it takes to show to you that I'm doing the right thing.
What would you say, just coming to the workplace and support for working moms, what would you say in your experience I know like it looks like what you're saying is okay, it's more like a textbook support structure that's supposed to be there, but the reality it's different. What would you like to see, or what would your advice be? Should I say advice? No. What do you think should be the reality in terms of getting support from upper level management or like the senior women at work in terms of supporting younger moms who are still like caring, who are just like new moms and trying to still push through their careers at work? what support would you have wished like was really there to help you? And maybe if there are other moms listening or other, management, senior management listening, they can, tap into it and, help mothers in general at their workplaces.
The one thing I want to say is, if your personal ego is more than accepting that a person has changed, a person is showing up to work, she's doing the right thing. If your ego is more than that, you don't deserve to be in management. If you have told me, hey Vijetha, this is the problem I see in you, and next week I address that concern, and I'm saying, okay, you told me this is my problem. This is what we need from you. Here is, and I take a week and I give you what you need. You should start to accept that the person has given what it needs. Do not ponder them with even more challenges, like, just to accept that, hey, she's done. Just because, see, if you have tried to add a third person to a discussion, doesn't mean that you're complaining. It actually means that you want to resolve the conflict and you want a healthy environment.
Yeah.
So my biggest message would be that if you have this ego, if your personal ego is much higher where you cannot see somebody's win, do not go into that role. Be an individual contributor. People will take care of you. But if you are in that management, hold up to that. Hold up to your title. You are a manager. You are a supervisor. You are a director. You're a senior director. Walk the talk. Don't just say things just because you have to say it reading a textbook. Just because in management training they tell you that, hey, treat the employee right once they come from maternity leave. Do it as if you mean it. Don't just do it because you have to do it. And this is one thing, again, I don't want to bring gender here, but based on my experience, I've seen that women who have been through this journey, who have been a mother, who know how hard it is, they are 10 times harder on new moms compared to someone who does not have that journey. I don't know why it is like that. I mean, you are a mother, you have a kid who, like, you have grandkids, you have your own child, you see your own child juggling the professional life, but when it comes to treating another mother, you are not applying that. I just get lost. I don't know why we do it. I mean, I don't know if we are in our own struggle where we don't have that time to take care, but I think it's just a support. If someone is being vulnerable in a meeting room where they are feeling like they are a failure, don't make them feel more like a failure. As a manager, do what you can to help them succeed. Here is something I apply, and I would want to just share it. As a mother, I apply it. So my child, like, he doesn't finish his lunchbox on time. Like, because in school they're timed and, he's not really finishing. Now, I'm angry because I woke up at 6 o'clock, I made this food for you, but you're not eating. And then he's always like, Ma, but I don't have time. The time was over. So what I did in that situation? I stopped asking him. Like, as soon as he comes home, I'm not really asking him, hey, did you finish your lunch? I stopped that expectation. Instead, what I did is I decreased the portion of food that I give. I started giving him, like, instead of a little extra pasta, I cut down on the food. he's still eating, but he feels successful because he's finished his lunchbox. So I apply it to everything in my life. Like, don't set them up for failure.
Yeah.
Set them up for success.
Success.
They're going to grow up and slowly add more things to their plate. It's the same technique that I feel any manager should use. If you feel that your employee is not succeeding, don't always critic them. Try to compliment them. Try to say, you don't have to say, hey, I'm giving you less work. Unknowingly remove something off their plate and help them succeed. That is something. And I think I think I gave you a very simple analogy, right? You set them up for success. You don't set them up for
For
failure.
failure. Wow. Ooh,
Yeah.
wow, wow. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. Vijetha, I'm really touched by, your story and all the things that you've mentioned. And I want to go back quickly to one thing that you mentioned with regards to maternity leave. You mentioned that you took a 6 week vacation to go on the maternity leave, and then you came back. But you also added that it really, you weren't really prepared mentally and emotionally to go back to work. Can you touch a little bit on that? Can you expand that for us a bit? Like, is it like the length of the maternity leave that was like so short for you, or can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. So yeah, as I said, when I was pregnant with my first child, I just started working for a new company. So right as I joined, I got pregnant, and like my first year was with the maternity, the pregnancy, and all of that. Not maternity, but pregnancy. So once I had the baby, I was at this workplace. I did get additional they call it bonding leave. So the first 6 or 8 weeks is based upon the type of delivery you have, and then we have the bonding leave with the baby. And but because I was so much wanting to go back to work, and I thought it's easy, I can do it, anyone can do it. I just took 6 weeks, because we can take the bonding leave up to 1 year. You can take it anytime. So I rushed back, but I think it took a mental toll on me because my body was not ready. I had to drive into work, and what I did not anticipate was that I will have to be away from my desk for pumping, and not everyone understands these schedules, right? Especially if you have a male manager, you're not really vocal about it, and you're taking a break, and all of this part, right? It was hard. It was definitely hard for me because I would take these breaks because I have to pump the milk for the next day for my child. I did not really have like a oversupply where I would freeze and all like what other moms did. So I was just making enough for my baby. So that is one thing. And it was emotionally draining because you come back, you take care of your baby all through the evening, and nights they don't sleep well. You're deprived of sleep, and you come back to work, and your mind is not at one good place. That is, now if I have to do something different, I think I would take the bonding leave and the maternity all through once, and if needed, take few weeks of some additional leave, because that way you're completely recovered. And more than physically, it's your mental ability. And this is when, because a lot of things were happening and I was not able to control them, I was diagnosed with postnatal depression, and I had to go through medications. It's not like I was having something external, but internally my body was fighting, and I was having anxiety, and having to go through like behavior therapy and all of that. Just and my therapist laughed because there was times when she's like, there's no problem with you, dear, it's just that you are because you want everything in your control, right? You need to let go, take it easy, and let it fall in place. So I had to go through medications, and something that I believed helped me is only I can help myself. I was initially I was looking for a validation from an external person that, hey, you're a good mom, you're a good employee, but that was not helping me because let's say they understood me and they said you're a good mom, I would find something else because I was so used to getting successful in everything I do. I was anticipating that this would be just a journey where I'll just fly through it, right? So it was a challenge, but I started to believe that only I can help myself. And there were times when I would explain myself over and over and over again, trying to let the person understand me. But there was a time I stopped explaining. I'm like, nope, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And I started seeing the change. I started to accept it. Okay, this is what it is. If they don't want to give me a promotion, okay, fine, whatever. Like just hustling through it and taking care of myself. And I was also having some complications internally health wise where I started putting on weight, and even that had like a lot of emotional toll on me. So I took it as a challenge. I started working out. I wanted to become fit because I was like, I am only going to think about the things that I can control. If you don't like me, that's up to you. If you don't like what I speak, that's up to you. This is who I am. You give me a constructive feedback, I will work on it, but don't just say something just to satisfy yourself. So I started taking care of myself. And I think as women, we are always wanting to sacrifice, right? As a mom, you sacrifice. And I did that. I do it even now. Like, I want to sacrifice for my kids, but I'm deeply, 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 what do you say, very much in my mind, it's fixed. I I want to be successful in my career. I want to achieve my goals. I want to achieve my dreams, and I will do everything in my power to make that a reality. And I have strong ethics, I have strong policies, and I would not just do something for my success, just throw somebody under the bus. That's not me. I would do everything correctly, ethically, and get to that spot. And I believe I will do that. I will
Wow.
make it to the leadership one day, and I really see people enjoying me as a leader. I can envision that, and that's my vision,
It
to
will
be
come to pass.
successful. Yes.
It will come to pass. Would you say, with your experience, because you come across as somebody who's like a go getter, a really strong one at that, and so even though motherhood hit you in a way that you really didn't anticipate, you were still kind of trying to fight through. But then you came to learn that it's okay to take a break because you need to take care of yourself, and your mental health comes first. And so out of that, what would be your message, or what would you say was that biggest lesson that motherhood has taught you? And what would you say for mothers who are going through that? Because postpartum depression is real, and this is one of the things that causes postpartum depression, not taking enough time to recover before like bouncing back to that activity. And again, it goes back to feeling like, oh, I had my career going, and then now motherhood came in, and I feel like I'm being slowed down, and I'm kind of trying to fight it and all that. But as mothers, that can put us, at risk of our own health and safety. So, what would be your advice to mothers, and on that?
So, my biggest advice would be take it slow, don't rush it. It's okay to have a break. I realized it really late, but it's okay. It's okay if you take a break. If you're not mentally ready for it, it's okay to say, hey, I need this time for myself. And don't let the guilt trip you, because that is where the real problem starts.
Yeah.
If you need to take a meeting, if you need to go back to work, your child is sick, the dad is taking care of it, don't let it spoil your whole day. It's okay. Even your partners have the equal responsibility.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it just because you want to be there for your child, because at the end of the day, it goes back to what my dad has taught me, is like, you need to prepare them for the real world. You cannot be there forever. Be there for them forever, right? So my biggest and the other lesson that I have learned is accept the reality. If you are going through something health wise where you need to slow down, take a break. And the younger generations, I would say, is believe in yourself, believe that you can do it. It's okay to push yourself, but don't push too much. There's a balance. We all talk about work-life balance, but I think there is a balance between how much you can push and how much you can relax. You need to find that balance. So, and I would also say that don't let the social media fool you, because I think that is something that AI is doing. Is we think that it is easy, it just happens on a snap of a finger. The TikToks, the Instagrams, right? It's all AI. It goes based on your scrolling history. What you scroll, what you talk, your phone is listening to you. And my phone is right here. I am sure tomorrow my social media will be filled up with motherhood, because that's what I'm talking to, right? So your phone is hearing you, your AirPods are hearing you, your watch is hearing you. So it will actually, it's much powerful. It will make your brain believe that it's, like it's all easy. Don't let it fool you. Start to accept the reality and take things in control. Take charge of things that you can control. If there's something you cannot control, just leave it. Letting go is the biggest lesson I have learned. It's hard. For personalities like me, it's really hard, because I cannot sit in one spot, just relaxed. If you tell me, hey Vijetha, I want you to relax, I'll be like, okay, what do I do next? When is my next meeting? What is that? What do I have to give them? Where is the status report? What is my kid eating for dinner? This is how my mind goes. No, take a break. That's all I would say.
Take a break.
Don't feel like a loser. We are not losers. We have it in us to succeed.
Wow. This is so beautiful. Like throughout the challenges of motherhood, it's so beautiful to know that for somebody with a personality type like yours, you've actually like learned to slow down and learn to accept things, and that it's okay to relax a bit. It's okay, nothing is gonna break. Everything will be fine. Wow. What would your advice to young engineers be? Because there are engineers like us who are coming up, and they are also going to get into this phase of the peak of their career, their motherhood and all that. Like young engineers, especially female young engineers coming up, what would your advice be for them?
It's not just young engineers, anyone. My advice for female or male, but mainly for females, is be independent.
Okay.
Don't go for shortcuts. Shortcuts don't take you long way. Start to work hard. Do what is needed for your job. And working hard, doing the right thing, and no shortcuts. There's no shortcut to success. That is something I want the young generations to know, is that you need to show up no matter what it is. You have to, because now we have work is remote, everything, everything has become technology friendly, but at the end of the day, we are the people who will be uh, getting the success. So you need to succeed, you need to work hard, you need to show up, you need to have that commitment. Commitment takes you longer than anything else. Commitment and consistency. You can be like, that is something I see in the younger generation these days. It's like, they'll do something for 2 days, they're bored on the third day. They'll do something for 5 days, and then they're bored on the sixth day. Now, consistency, commitment, hard work, these are the rule. They are what makes you successful.
Yeah.
There's no shortcuts to this. If you don't have commitment, there's no consistency. If you don't have consistency, then there's no hard work.
Yeah.
So this is my biggest message, is like, there will be ups and downs, but accept it, and it's okay to detour, to try to navigate through, but don't completely lose the sight of your goal.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Vijetha. I have learned a lot from your story. It's so powerful. It's so impactful. You're a woman of strength. You have a lot of resilience. You're truly a fighter, because despite everything or every challenge that motherhood has thrown at you, you have really like bounced back and even stronger. You have learned your lessons. You have learned to take things slowly, and you're more aware. And I like the fact that you are even adding onto your plate now with an MBA and all that.
Yes.
Kudos to you.
I'm really passionate about it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I know you one day be at that leadership position, and you will impact more lives, especially like providing positive support to mothers at work, new moms at work. It's very important. I know you're a strong voice, and your voice will really go far in making a very good impact in society, not just at your workplace, but in society as a whole. And I'm really looking forward to us connecting again for bigger things. So I want to say thank you very much for making the time to join us today, and maybe let us know where we can find you. Maybe somebody listening, they want to connect with you. Let us know how we can connect with you. Yeah.
Sure. It's been my incredible happiness to be part of your show, Diana, and I believe that we are here to uplift each other.
Right.
And that is my message to everyone in this world, is that make this world a better place by uplifting each other. And the corporate world needs more women leaders. I'm all up for it. Yes. And we have to get there and get our voice heard out really clear, crystal loud.
I love that. I'm here for it.
Yes.
I love that. I really love that. Thank you, Vijetha. Yeah, thank you so much. And where can we find you? Where can we find you?
I will share my LinkedIn the handle with you guys, and I'm really open for mentorship. And if anyone is struggling where you need support, sometimes all you need is a hearing ear, and I'm here for anyone who needs that, and I would do everything in my power to make this place a better place.
Thank you. This is beautiful. Yes. Thank you. Wow. What a beautiful end to our series, Engineering Motherhood. Vijetha made some very profound statements. She said, learn to take breaks. Also, learn to let go of things you cannot control. And then she also said, believe in yourself. It is okay to push yourself, but do not push yourself too much. I really hope you learned something from Vijetha's story. Thank you for staying with us. Next Sunday, we'll bring you another inspiring story from another mother. Be sure not to miss it. We want to thank you for staying with us up until this point. If you want to follow Vijetha, you can find her on LinkedIn at Vijetha B. You find a link to her page in the description of this video. Be sure to check it out. If you want to follow The Dairy Mom, you can find us on LinkedIn, TikTok, and Facebook at The Dairy Mom. And on Instagram, you find us at @The Dairy Mom. We also want to remind you that our blog has launched. Visit thedairymom.com/blog to find more inspiring stories on motherhood. Thank you so much for staying with us up until this point. And as I wrap up, my question to you is, what is your hashtag The Dairy Mom story? Join me and let's do this together. My name is Diana Adair, and I am The Dairy Mom.